Fred Roggin, Bill Plaschke in today for Rodney, LATimes.com.
Thank you very much.
On AM 570 LA Sports. What a treat. We're back on time, and it is a thrill to be joined by Max Scherzer of the Dodgers. And, Max, thank you for taking a couple of minutes and jumping on.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, cool. I want to start with this because we were kicking this around earlier. As things shake out and we look at the rotation, it seems like you're not going to pitch against the Giants. What do you think of that?
That was decisions that were made above me. They were really prioritizing the rest for especially Julio, given that where his innings are out, and I get it because look, I was a guy that was built properly up, from 140 innings to 170, 200. I really feel like that was the reason why I've been able to be durable throughout my career, is how I was handled early in my career, and so. As a young pitcher, I know those jumps can be pretty severe and pretty taxing on your arm. And so, that's how they feel about Julio. I just got here and trying to understand everything. And so when I hear those inning jumps and that's what Julio is underneath, and that's what they're trying to look out for. You respect the decision of the higher ups here.
Well, Max, this is Bill Plaschke, LA Times, and it's great to have you in town. You've been great with the media, and everybody seems to really love you. Can you tell in the public, going out, doing things in town, whatever you've done, can you tell the impact you've already had on the fan base? How the importance of your presence here has been?
I can't really say too much just because I got my girls out, just trying to stay low key. But no, I can definitely feel it though. For the first day to have that standing ovation, obviously. This is a historic organization. For the fans to react like that, for me to come into town and with Trey and I, that was a special moment. Obviously, what that means for the fan base, for us to come over here, obviously, we're ready to win. That's what's on everybody's mind. So anything we can do to help, win in the city, we're all about that.
Let's go back to the trade. Did you know? At what time did you know? And did you always believe you would come to the Dodgers?
Yeah, I didn't know what was actually going on those last kind of few hours. At the end of the day, it was for the Nationals to execute the trade, and they knew kind of where I wanted to go. But nothing's final until you get that phone call. You can have all the rumors you want, but until you get that phone call. And then when I was on the bus from Philadelphia to D.C. After that, on our travel day, and I got the call from Mike Rizzo, and he said you're going to be a Dodger. So that's how it went down.
I'm wondering, do you feel a little melancholy though at that moment? I mean, given everything that happened in Washington, the success you had there, to get that call, even though you knew it was coming, something was going to happen. Did you feel a little melancholy?
Yeah, it was a weird situation. Just it was actually kind of weird, more weird the previous 3 days. Leading up to the deadline, because the couple of weeks before, we knew we were kind of on the fence as an organization what we were going to do, and we thought we were going to be able to turn the corner. We thought we were going to be able to get guys back in time, but then we played through a stretch of baseball where the organization felt like they were going to make a different turn, and I think when we got to we got swept by Baltimore and then went to Philadelphia. It just seemed to be apparent that the trade was going to happen, and that's when it became weird, kind of with the teammates around. Everybody kind of was looking at me, kind of funny around the clubhouse, like it's not just a rumor now that it's really going to happen. And so, it was weird, but at the same time, of all the guys that are there, everybody understands the business of the game and how these things go. And the Washington organization just needed to retool. That was the verbiage that they were used and explained to me. I understood where they were coming from. The roster had kind of gotten old, and they wanted to get some young guys in there. And when that decision is apparent, you got to flip your best trade chips on the table to reset. You've seen it across baseball where sometimes a guy might be traded, but the young guys that you get are sometimes more valuable and can really help lead to a winning thing. So. Trades can work for both teams on both sides. I've seen it work on both sides, myself, and been involved in different trades. So it's crazy the business side of baseball.
Well, we've seen Max players come here after the trade deadline and struggle because of the enormous pressures of L.A. You've gone 4-0 with a 1.55 ERA and been almost unhittable. How do you handle the burden? There's obviously a burden on you. The fans here think you're going to take them to the promised land. How do you deal with that? You obviously deal with it very well. What tricks do you use, or what do you tell yourself? How do you get through it?
It's all an illusion. The pressure is all an illusion. You just when you come to the clubhouse, just walk through those doors and just want to win with your teammates and have fun with the guys. You don't try to put too much of yourself that you're playing a game. In everything you do, you just stay within your routines. Prepare for my starts is the same as I have for my whole career, and so I don't get caught up in the hoopla of what everything is. You just go out there and pitch. I feel comfortable when I'm actually on the mound, staying on the mound. It doesn't matter what stadium it is. I've pitched in every single one of them. I know the feeling what it's like to stay on everybody's mound. So even though I got a different uniform on with some different colors, it's still 60 feet 6 inches, and I still got to get those hitters out.
And that being said, and as Bill just pointed out, here in expectations in the minds of the fans, what's the difference? Is there a difference in the fan bases, for example, the way you feel here pitching compared to the way you felt pitching in Washington?
Of course it's going to be different. You got different cities, different fan bases, and different moments. But at the end of the day, I don't know, if you're pitching well, everybody's tends to cheer for that. So if everybody's winning and everybody's doing their jobs, everybody's going to be on top of their stuff. And so, as players, for me, you just try not to get too caught up in that. You just try to use it to your advantage, and just capture those moments and go out there and just try to pitch as well as you can, and stay within yourself and just trust that your instincts and your process of how to go about a start is what you're going to do every single time out.
Now, I realize you're not going to talk about this till after the season, but is there anything the Dodgers or the fans could do here to help during these last 2 months to convince you to stay here? Is this a are you using this as a tryout to see if you'd like it here? Obviously
those decisions will get answered as time goes on. The best part is I don't have to answer that. There was going to be there was an element of there, that I could have used the trade deadline as an extension talk. And for me, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make it like a free agency at the trade deadline. I just wanted, if I was going to get traded, just go to another team and just try to win. It's going to be hard enough to pick up my family. I feel like this trade's actually been harder on my family, actually, of moving out of DC and getting out here to LA. That was going to be a big enough challenge. I didn't make it harder on myself. That for me, I just wanted to go somewhere and just continue to play baseball and play winning baseball.
What's it been like as you've now been with the Dodgers and you've been to opposing parks and you're seeing teams, but you're wearing a different uniform than you used to? What is the reaction to the Dodgers? Years ago, Max, people thought, the Yankees are the villains. The Yankees are the villains because they get whoever they want, they do whatever they want. For whatever reason, the Dodgers have become the villains of baseball now. What's it like being a member of the Dodgers in opposing stadiums?
It's been fun. It's actually exciting to be, going to other teams' parks and, have that kind of extra roar to the crowd that, everybody's giving you their best bolt, and rightfully so. Obviously this team won the World Series last year, and obviously, we have a great team, and go out there and compete with anybody. And so, yeah, you're going to get the best shot from everybody, but that's what you want as a player. You want to be in those situations. You want to be a part of the great teams. Because you're always striving to be the best player and be on the best teams. And so, for me, I like that. It's fun to be in those type of environments, to have the atmosphere and the adrenaline like that. So, it doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Okay, so while at Dodger Stadium, and I always ask this for any of our new athletes, have you seen any Hollywood stars or anyone who you said, I recognize that person, either at Dodger Stadium or around town, anybody make you as calls you to any kind of recognition of anybody?
I have seen when I've come here as a visiting, I've seen the stars, because it seems like they seem to sit more kind of on the first base side, but I haven't done too much peeking up there currently to see anybody. So I can't answer that. I'm sure that answer, there's a yes somewhere to that question, but I haven't seen it yet.
You just love playing baseball. I got to tell you, and it's obvious from watching you as many years as everyone has. Do Do you still have that same energy, that same enthusiasm, that same fire as you did when you started?
Oh, absolutely. If not stronger now. Just because being 37 years old, you're not going to play forever. That there's only so many opportunities in your career where you have a chance to win, and here I am. I have a great chance to win, and so the fire, the proverbial fire, is as strong as ever. I mean, here, what more could you ask for for a chance to be able to win? And so you want to do anything and everything possible to go out there and compete, do everything you can to help the team. So. This is what makes baseball fun, is when you have these type of opportunities.
What's the coolest thing about Dodger Stadium? Anything surprise you about Dodger Stadium? The view, the sunsets, the weather, the fans there, and anything in the clubhouse, anything about the stadium that has taken you by surprise?
For me, that this is such a historic organization. When I played in Detroit, I think that was one of the things I didn't realize playing for Detroit. That I realized was the history of that organization. Coming over to now LA here, and just trying, walking through the hallways and seeing all the memorabilia from the 50s and 60s of all the great pitchers and all the great players that have come through here, and just try to learn the history of this organization, all the great ones that have come before me, and just to be a part of an organization like that's always something that's so cool to be a part of, to know that there's this fan base here has experienced this organization for so long, and they have so many different memories throughout the generations of players, and so it's great to be a part of this, and who knows how the storybook will be written about these Dodgers today.
Well, that's going to be my last question for you, Max. You have been on a World Series championship team. You know what it takes to win. Is this a championship team you're on right now? From a clubhouse perspective, obviously you have a clubhouse that is functioning well with team chemistry, and that's obviously one of the X factors that can never be actually measured. And obviously here in my short time here of being in LA, yes. Now the answer to that question is yes. Now there takes a lot more to win a World Series than having just some clubhouse chemistry. It takes so much talent, it takes some luck, it takes everybody playing their best baseball at the end of the season. And so there's so many other factors that go into it. You can't make any promises, can't make any guarantees just because baseball is such a fun game, especially when you start getting down into wild card games, when you get into 5-game series and, you play 7 games of baseball, like anything can happen in a week. And so, I've been in the postseason many times and seen so many strange things happen. And even in our World Series run, I mean, it all started by, Juan Soto hitting the ball, at the right field, and the ball, was supposed to go right, and it kicked left.
Yeah,
that set up our whole World Series run.
Yeah,
and so I've seen funny things happen in baseball. So that's what it takes to win. And so you just give it your best, and that's what it takes to win.
All right, Max. Before we let you go, final question. After what happened out at the stadium yesterday, do you anywhere in your mind have any concern that Justin Turner will replace you in the rotation?
Pitching with sunglasses on. That's
a
new
what we
one.
said. That's what we said, Max.
I haven't. Yeah, that was the first thing we said. And obviously he was able to pull it off. It looked like he was throwing a little bit too hard at first. It looked like the team he was in the hitting speed. He started throwing some pitches below the hitting speed, and that seemed to get him off balance. But for me, when you see the position players, because they give us such a hard time when we don't hit, and it's like, well, why don't you go out there and pitch and watch what happens? And so, we always get a chuckle when we get to see him go out there and stay out there and throw. So, it's a fun thing in baseball when you get to see that happen.
Hey, thanks for doing this. We really
You're
appreciate
awesome, Max.
it.
Thanks.
We really,
Thank you
really
so
do,
much,
Max.
man.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.